What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so Spike Lee, right? Spike Lee, the famed director and longtime New York Knicks fan, all right, got into an altercation with Madison Square Garden security officers last night in regards to an entrance that he used that now all of a sudden is off guards to him, all right? Um, Spike Lee, for backstory purposes, okay, most of you guys know that he's a Knicks fan, but I mean he's an avid Knicks fan. Okay, he's been attending Knicks games since he was a little kid, since his father used to take him, all the way back to the old Madison Square Garden that I think shut down in 1968 or 69 or somewhere in that time frame. All right, so he's been going since he was a little kid. All right, and we all know him from attending Knicks games as his fame grew. We all remember the little altercation he had with Reggie Miller in the '90s, and him being, courtside with the Bulls and the Knicks game. So he's been long affiliated with the Knicks. All right. So for the last 20 years, more than 20 years, he said. So this would predate the Dolan era. He's been using the employee entrance, which is on 33rd Street, to enter the games. Okay, they've had a loose policy when it comes to him. All right, because he's, for one thing, he's probably their most prominent ticket holder. He may not be the absolute wealthiest, but he's the most prominent as regards to his position in or his position in culture and society, and how much he fucking pays, a season when it comes to tickets. So anyway, all of a sudden, yesterday, just before the game between the Knicks and the Rockets, which the Knicks were able to hold on to win, incidentally, he was confronted by the Madison Square Garden police officers as he's coming to the elevator after he paid his ticket, and was told that he can no longer use that entrance and he have to come through the main entrance. And this pissed him off, okay? And understandably so. And it was caught on cell phones, his altercation with the security guard, to the point where he screamed out, "Arrest me like Charles Oakley." Okay? Now, ultimately, it didn't come down to that. The media put it out there that he and Dolan had a peaceful, they came to a peaceful conclusion to this situation, which Spike Lee says is bullshit. When he was on ESPN First Take today, he said that wasn't true. He told Dolan pretty much, he wasn't accepting any apology for the situation and thought it was disrespectful, more or less. And that he had no knowledge of this policy, to which supposedly from Spike Lee's point of view, James Dolan said tersely, I suppose, "Well, now you know." So Spike Lee has put it out there that he feels that for some reason James Dolan has it out for him. Okay? Now this is my take. Interesting that he has been using that interest for 20 years, all the way up to last week, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. Okay? It's all of a sudden a problem. This is one of your most prominent ticket holders. You couldn't email him or have someone contact him to tell him about this policy change. You obviously knew about it. You obviously knew that he uses that entrance all the time, without trouble, without complication. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. Now Spike Lee said that James Dolan is harassing him for some reason. you know, I mean, I can't prove what it is, but I have my theories. You know, I remember when I was really young, right, 19 years old, and there was this guy. He was the facilities director, and he was well known within inner circles to be a racist. He did not like me. Number one, I think it was because I'm extra niggerish. You know what I'm saying? By that I mean I'm dark skinned and I'm big. All right, not as big back then, but I'm big. Number two, I don't do the stereotypical yamming and hawing and cooning. You know what I'm saying? That they're accustomed to black folks doing for them. You know, making them feel all good and superior. I didn't do shit like that. So he just did not fucking like me. He used to always give me a hard time about every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? If I were talking to security on my way into work, he would make it an issue about me fraternizing with coworkers. Shit like that. Shit to just get under my skin and just have my day be fucked up by this piece of shit. All right? So, James Dolan to me is on that same bullshit. He did it with Oakley. Okay? Charles Oakley, one of the most popular Knicks of all time. Probably the second most, I would say Ewing, Starks, and Oakley were the most popular Knicks in the 90s, all right? Oakley was you know what I'm saying, they got him in a trade from the Bulls in 88. And Oakley was a big part of those Knicks teams and why they were so good in the 1990s. All right? Represented the undercurrent of New York. He wasn't Madison Square Garden, but he was more of the gritty toughness, you know, middle class New Yorker. He connected with those guys. And then you got this, then you have the fucking audacity to put, you know, to bring security around him and force him out of Madison Square Garden like he's some fucking thug. Like you don't know who the fuck he is. There was an incident that happened before where supposedly he had a ticket person who didn't recognize who he was because he was trying to come in. Okay, until she found out who he was, she didn't allow him in. Okay? Yeah, it might bruise your ego a little bit, but, you know, the objective side of yourself would have said, and the logical side of yourself would have said, you know what? She's doing her job. I'm going to commend her. You know, you didn't even let me in. I'm glad. Nope. Called and had her fired because he's the entitled Napoleon complex midget asshole. You know who he is? You know who he is? He's Eddie Arcadian. He's fucking Eddie Arcadian from fucking Barry Gore's The Last Dragon. You fucking midget piece of shit. That's who fucking James Dolan is. I bet you got a big ass rug on his head too. That's not his fucking hair. He's Eddie Arcadian, man. He's Eddie Arcadian, and he bought the fucking Knicks. Welcome to my little party in your honor, Spike Lee. Yeah, man, but in all seriousness, though, do you think that the Los Angeles Lakers would have done that to Jack Nicholson? Could you imagine Jeannie, and especially her father, Dr. Jerry Buss, could you imagine them doing something like that to Jack Nicholson? Of course not. So basically what I'm telling you is, in some ways, I don't know what has been going on between Spike Lee and Dolan, but that tells me that was a subliminal message to Spike Lee. Like, you ain't special, nigga. Go into other interests like the other ones. That's kind of like that's what they do. See a coward, sideways racist, a bigot or whatever, they do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different levels to racism. You got your all-out white supremacists. You're the ones that espouse that bullshit, so that stupid ideology they believe in. But the thing I'll say about them, though, the one thing I will respect about those types of racists, at least they're out in front about it. They're not cowards and try to hide because they think it's not the popular opinion or it's going to penalize them in some way. All right? James Dolan is probably a coward bigot, okay? He may not necessarily hate black people, but he looks down on them, sees us as inferior, and can't stand one of us who is ostentatious or outspoken, especially when it comes to our blackness, like a Spike Lee, okay? And don't dare be arrogant. You better put your head down when that white man walk past. Better say Mr. Dolan. Don't call me James. I'm Mr. to you, boy. But you know what? Unfortunately, until he's caught on tape saying some stupid shit like Sterling, the NBA can't really do anything about the guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that he's not popular among the NBA circle. Okay? By that I mean not just players, but even owners. Because even though I suspect that even though the NBA pretends to be progressive, look, man, the richer a white person is, the more likely they are to have a superiority complex, and the more likely they are to believe in some of these stupid ass racial theories that are out there. I don't know. I just don't have too much faith in certain people, man. But even with that aspect, man, he can't be too popular among the circles, man. James Dolan has ruined the Knicks. Like Spike Lee said, the main reason why Kevin Durant didn't want to play the New York Knicks is because of James Dolan. That shit that happened with the New York Knicks, James Dolan and Charles Oakley, rubbed a lot of the NBA family the wrong way. And that's one of the main reasons why they're going to continue to suck. They've had a lot of bad luck, a lot of bad contracts, and it's fucked them over. From the Antonio McDyess debacle to the Allen Houston contract to, since then. They just have sucked. So, it's on James Dolan, man. Hopefully it gets so bad for him that he has to sell the fucking team, you know what I'm saying? They don't fucking like him. And, that's just pretty much it, man, you know what I'm saying? I hope that, I hope that for Spike Lee, something good can come out of this situation for him, that was a slap in the face for him. And that shit just goes to show any New York fan what James Dolan stands for, man. What he's about. If he could do that to Spike Lee, you better believe that what he thinks about the average New York fan. If he doesn't value Spike Lee, that tells you what he thinks about the average New York fan. Okay? So, that's it, man.